do reverse osmosis units waste a bunch of water? That is not an accurate question because it all depends on which reverse osmosis system that you're talking about. There's so much, I don't want to say junk online and stuff that comes out. I don't want to say department stores. We represent a department store that sells the cheaper units as well, and right off the shelf, the do-it-yourself ones. But I'll tell you, a lot of these reverse osmosis units, what they do is, it's called the wastewater, if you will, the reject water. For every gallon of water that comes through that RO that you're pushing through that membrane, and the clean water that comes out the other side is what goes into the bladder, pumps up to the faucet, to the fridge, if that's applicable. Well, what happens to the other water that didn't make it through, that has a lot of those contaminants in there? Well, that's what goes back down the drain. And a lot of times these reverse osmosis units will, even do a 5-to-1 ratio or 1-to-5. So they'll make 1 gallon of water, they'll put 5 gallons down the drain for every one they make. And then you get into a nicer RO, more quality RO, then you're getting into the 3 gallons. And then, so our reverse osmosis should be able to stay at a 1-to-1 ratio, worst case scenario, let's just say a 1-to-2 ratio. So for every gallon, they're gonna put 1 gallon down the drain. You gotta keep in mind, they're only holding usually a 2-gallon bladder unless you increase the bladder size, the amounts of bladders. That's a different video. A good way to analyze this is for about every toilet flush, that's about an average 1.5 gallons of water. For a toilet flush. Well, let's just say that we're making 1-to-1. Let's say you drink 4 gallons of water for the entire day, the whole family. We always hope that we're drinking more. You want your kids drinking more, all that good stuff. But that's, if it put 4 gallons and then it wasted 4 gallons down the drain. So let's just say we pretty much had 2 or 3 extra toilet flushes a day. So is that a lot of water to waste? I personally don't think so. Now we get into these cheaper ROs, and you get into, hey, if you drink 4 gallons through there and it put 20 gallons a day, yeah, I think that's a lot of water to be wasting through some of those. One of the biggest things, this is off the topic, I try not to keep these videos short, but you get into these cheaper ROs, some of the number one things that fail are these shut-off switches. Everything on them is made cheap, and when you get down to that shut-off switch, you don't know until you get that crazy water bill that it filled up the bladder. And then when the pressure came back, it did not shut off the RO. So in fact, you were just putting water down your drain the entire time. So then you get into the hundreds and thousands and all that kind of stuff like that. So anyway, hopefully that answers your question. It really depends on the quality of the RO. I would not be nervous about a high quality RO in regard to the wastewater. Again, let's just say 4 to 5 gallons is the most important thing that you're possibly doing in that house, is making that clean water. So I think it's worth, I could talk about 10 more minutes on all the other different things that we waste, and especially with water, but hopefully that answers your question.